Anyways, hello and welcome to NEL5R. This is our fifth video in what is hopefully to be a long-running series of reviews from games from our Discord league. This is going to be our second doubleheader today, or tonight. We're really going in again. It's going to be a while, but right now we have a Crab v Scorpion game to start us off. It's going to be Ryan versus Erik, correct?
Tyler.
Ryan versus Tyler. Or Tyler versus Erik. Listen. I'm sorry. Anyways.
You want to introduce people?
Yeah, so we have with us here Brandon. He's a local crab player.
Hello.
He's also a bitch because he plays Crane.
Yeah, well.
It's a very good local crab player.
He is very good. I think he's multi-time Hatamoto, correct? Is that something we could put on your plaque?
Well, it would be if I were, but I'm not, so I would probably not do that. I did top 8 Akote.
There you go.
That's the thing that I did. But I did not Hatamoto at that event. I missed it. That was the event that Steve Palumbo Hatamoto'd in Atlanta and then also won.
Oh, well, maybe if you were a better player, you would have won that. Anyways, we
maybe
also have with us
if I were
again,
playing crab.
Mike, local Phoenix player. We've had him here before. Welcome back.
Thank you.
All right, so here we have the deck list up for.
Guess I'll just go
Tyler.
fuck myself.
We have Erik here too, as always. This is my
the co-host of the
well-loved co-host. We're really good friends. We're not. You want to introduce
Almost
yourself, Erik, in
forgettable.
case people forgot who you were?
I'm just the Scorpion player that sits in here and
Yeah, I haven't lost a game in
Yells
4
dumb
months,
shit.
except when I lost a game to Phoenix the other day. Anyway,
yeah, I did finally. My win streak on Scorpion in tournaments has been broken
and of all
on
clans,
my best matchup.
Yeah, no, I didn't mean it as shit talking. I was just fucking with you, but
No, it is worth it.
yeah, get fucked. Anyways, again, this is the crab players list. This is Tyler's list. And by Tyler's list, I mean this is almost every crab players list down to. It's the list. We don't have options. We didn't get any cardboard printed for us in the last cycle, so we're not allowed to have new cards. But now we can run Cloud the Mind much more efficiently, which
There
is
is
nice.
zero Gaijin customs.
Yeah.
Zero
And
Gaijin customs.
I also don't see Kuniyori either.
Yeah,
there's
Kuniyori is
no Yori.
really. He seems really good on paper, and the general consensus is that he's bad in the meta, but I think he's just a shitty card.
And the other,
I think
No,
he's better than Kudoka
I do really like Kuniyori. He can get you into some positions that are really nice. The problem is, if by the current meta you mean have to play against Scorpion, no.
Well, you have
the
to
only
play
other. I was just gonna say the only other notable change is 2 Kuni Laboratory.
Right. Kuni Lab is
Instead of
nice.
just the one.
You typically will see 1 or 2. Personally, I like 1 because I only view it as a rebuild target for versatility. Having 2, it allows you to make a lot more aggressive plays early game, and it's just nice to have. But it can be crippling in the Scorpion matchup. If he flops both Kuni Labs in this matchup, I would almost put money that he loses because it's just a bad look.
Yeah,
It's
I would.
also interesting that you've only got 1 Casada. Or 2 Casadas.
2 Casadas, yep. That's actually pretty typical, surprisingly.
Yeah, I would much rather have the third faithful ground than a second Kuni Lab.
Yeah, especially in
100%
this
of the
Hawk
time.
Tattoo meta.
It seems strange to me, and I don't mean this in a rude way, more just critically thinking it, but he's running 3 Wayfinders as opposed to 2 Wayfinders, 1 Customs, which both are valid. These are the typical iterations you see in the Conflict deck. You basically will not see a change from that Conflict deck, although you'll see Fine Katanas drop for Fingers of Jade more often than not.
But there is one more noticeable thing, because like I've heard, I mean maybe I'm wrong, but like Mountain Does Not Fall in the Way of the Crab can be 2s or 3s depending on what player preference.
I think 3 Way of the Crab is pretty much always the bad choice nowadays, especially.
I agree.
And 3 Mountain Does Not Fall is almost never bad. It's like you always want to see more of those every game. You always want to see more.
Yeah, Mountain Does Not Fall does so much work. It's not even funny.
It's basically the reason
absolutely.
you play Crab besides the cheat codes. Like, Crab doesn't have cards except Mountain Does Not Fall and Rebuild, you know?
Yeah, and I mean the best thing about Mountain Does Not Fall obviously is when your opponent's like, "What? That lasts for the entire phase."
Yeah.
That's my favorite
It's
part.
great catching people who are bad.
What's also interesting is I've been seeing a lot of crabs running the Maho spell just to basically protect their guys from the opponent effects, and I'm not seeing that in this matchup.
Yeah, it kind of fell out of favor in a similar way to Yori. It turns out that although again on paper and a lot of people, myself included, thought Spreading the Darkness was going to be like meta breaking, it actually sucks horrendously. It's miserable. It is a very bad card.
Starting on 10 and throwing honor to card effects
Yeah,
is
like
a slippery slope.
you basically need to have money for or like life, honor for assassination. Like you almost need to be able to bank on assassination WotC at some point in the game, and if you can't, it's bad feelings. Because like playing Crab, there are a lot of games where you just have a dead card. Like you'll play one assassinate early, and you just can't play another one the rest of the game. It's just not going to happen. Because the moment you play one assassination, every clan can now dive their bid and threaten dishonor against you if they're in a strong position. Like,
Why don't you just kneel your stronghold to take an honor from your opponent?
that doesn't help you win
that's-
conflicts though.
Yeah, see, that's not a thing that most clans can do. That's just a Scorpion thing. I don't know if you were
Yeah.
up on that.
I don't know if you've like.
Oh,
Yeah, I know in Tier 0 you kind of lose track of what it's like to play the game, but
weird.
yeah, I know it's a strange world. But going back, he's running the 3 Wayfinders, and as opposed to 2 Wayfinders, 1 Guide and Customs, which isn't a bad choice. I personally prefer 3 Wayfinders, particularly for Cloud the Mind always being active. But that also indicates to me that he cares about, obviously, scouting. I mean, it's one of the strongest effects. It's good in the Dragon matchup. It's basically necessary.
Yeah,
but running
the Dragon
labs,
matchup, it's where it's at.
Yeah,
It's good in this
but
matchup here too.
running 2 labs and 2 favorables. It is good in Scorpion too. You need to know what you're hitting, or you want to. Although at some point you realize
I
that
feel
you're
like
going to
we've talked enough about this list.
Yeah, I mean it's the Crab list. There's nothing, there's nothing new here, and that's nothing against the player. It's just Crab doesn't get new cardboards, so go fuck.
There's really nothing new in my list either. If you can pull it up if you want to talk about it.
Oh yeah, it's a good idea. I do have it. It's is it this one? Oh. Why is it opening in Paint?
No, it's the middle. It's right underneath.
Yeah, no, I've got it.
Yeah,
I don't know why they're opening in Paint. Anyways, Eric.
The
your
only
list.
it's just I have 39 conflict cards set in stone. The one it's this game I was playing with 1 censure for a 3rd calling in favors. I'm trying lots of things. I'm trying a 3rd assassination, a 2nd censure, the 3rd calling in favors.
Those are the only things that come to mind, not the 2 marauding Onis.
Oh yeah, okay. This deck list is not correct. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Uh,
So -2
Yeah, I was
marauding
gonna say
Oni.
Marauding Onis. That's
this
interesting.
is
That's
Okay.
that's some spice.
That was
Well,
a
that's-
desperation play, dude.
okay. Yeah, we can talk about that later.
Yeah.
If we ever get a Crane Scorpion matchup on here, we can talk about that because I've been going deep into the tank after last weekend, trying to figure out how to make
Dude, the Crane struggle
Crane
was
matchup better?
so real.
and Marauding Oni is a piece to make the Crane matchup better. Which I've been working with Ian, my bitter rival, to putting our brains together.
Marauding Oni, as much as I'd love to say I hate it, it's honestly not the worst card. It's really not. There's definitely worlds where it sees play. I tried it in more than a couple decks.
It scouts pretty well.
Yeah, and it gives you the chance to threaten breaks on occasion, which is kind of like a nice
Well,
thing.
The reason it's in here is like A, it scouts shameful display, and B, like you usually can't dishonor your Crane opponent, so you have to break stuff.
Yeah.
And Marauding Oni can just smack a province.
Yeah, if you can ever dishonor Crane, you certainly did some serious motherfucking work. Cause
Or they're bad.
But yeah,
more
the
likely than not.
Marauding Oni were not in this game.
Alright.
They were something else that I can't think of right now.
all right. So, but is the rest of the conflict generally like?
Yeah, the conflict
that's
is
fine.
exactly the same minus that 1 card.
Okay. Got it.
Do you know what? Do you know? I mean, you don't know what's being played instead. Then, yeah.
Yeah.
For what?
I'm
for
gonna
the
assume
Marauding
it'd be
Oni.
Blackmail Artist even. I thought you didn't like.
I
that
I
card
did
much.
not play Blacksmell Artist. I'll figure it out once we
Yeah,
go.
it's not a huge deal. This will
I'm
give you guys a
assuming he
rough
went up to
idea
a
of what
3
we're working with.
Zokugen and probably.
Is one Shadow Shaper what's happening nowadays?
It's a Shadow Shaper and a Zokujin. That's what it is. It's the 3rd
So the
Zokujin
and the
and the
second-
2nd Shadow Shaper. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
All right, let's get into it though. Let me make sure I have the playback set a little faster here. It's not the longest match, but
That Zokujin is so reclusive.
He's extremely reclusive.
All right,
Yeah,
so here's
chat
the
is yelling
start.
at us to start the game.
Yeah.
Hey, chat. Thank you. We
Oh,
appreciate you
there's more than
tuning in.
one person in chat.
Yeah. Sorry, we're new here. Like the Gil Scott-Heron album, you know?
Again, it looks horrible right now. I tell him to zoom out a bit so it looks better.
Yeah. There's a bit of a learning curve to existing on Jigoku, given how horribly they space the cards.
And again, as I ask him, there's no hand bubble here because he is streaming it through another computer that has like a bot that is recording the game.
I'm loving the quality, too. It's nice. Nothing against anybody else. It's just nice when we get like really high-quality VOD like this to work with.
Actually, it's super nice.
Because I gotta tell you, sometimes I see cards like Wholeness of the World, and I don't know what they do, and I don't know what they're called because I can't see on the video quality. Because that card, you don't see it very much.
let's not talk about that game.
We're doing our best.
We're doing our best. All right.
All
they
right.
should be getting it
While they're figuring things out, Brandon,
Yes.
what do we want to flop and what do we want to see in our conflict hand?
Same thing
As
every
crap.
game. As
You know,
many
Iron Man
envoys.
don't hurt. Caillou Envoys for days.
Keepers.
That'd be nice. Keepers are pretty good on the first turn. I don't mind seeing those things and hopefully nothing else. Not lots of four-costers.
If we're running Finger of Jade, which this list is not, but if we were, I don't mind seeing Yasuki and just dumping some Fate onto it. I'm no stranger to spending a Fate or 2 extra on a Yasuki if I have a Finger of Jade in hand, just to get value out of it.
The very shrewd ones.
The very shrewd ones.
The very shrewd ones. Yeah, I mean, effectively, like, card advantage against Scorpion is good, right? So Caillou Envoy is probably a safe bet because you get the advantage in almost all cases unless they cloud it.
It's...
And then murder it, which is just... why would you do that?
If they're blowing a cloud on an envoy, I call it a win.
I mean,
Basically,
you're effectively drawing a card.
What you're looking for
point.
in the Crab matchup is... It's kind of weird to say, because there are cases in which you're looking for specific things, but you're almost always hoping for the same flop. You just want to see... because you guys are about to get into it, I just want to say this. Sure. You basically want to see, like you said, envoys, keepers, like... If I'm looking for a flop as Crab, I just want envoys, keepers, and shrewd Yasukis. I almost always pitch anything else unless it's like, versus Dragon. I'll keep Satoshis because Karate is important, etc., etc. Crab, a lot of varied gameplay here. They gave us a lot of new cardboard in the cycle. I don't know if you knew that.
Like, he sits down and says, I want to do a Crab game. And I'm starting to think that it was just so he could fucking moan for an hour.
You got a lot of new cardboard, dude.
It's true, so much.
Yeah.
Can somebody put in chat the link? I want to look at what's going in the chat for the Twitch.
It's it's just twitch.tv/NEL5R.
Okay.
This is like the god flop. This is so good.
Yeah. So he keeps this Karada district.
Yes.
Which
100%.
at first I was like, what an idiot.
No.
But then it actually just like fucked my asshole for a while.
It really hurts you. The only major interaction to keep track of here with Karada, though, is that if you were to calling in favors of Talisman, he can't take it back.
Right.
Because rules and words.
Yeah, words.
Like, Talisman's not that great against Scorpion.
Right.
But, like, his reprieves, and he just, like, kills the 2 calling in favors in my hand for a huge chunk of this game.
Yeah, keeping the Karada is not the worst move, especially with a flop this powerful. Like, Caillou Envoy and Keeper alone, like, if I could flop blank cards in the other 2 and I'd feel happy about this. This is a really good start.
Very much so. The only thing that's unfortunate is, like, it's too bad the Vanguard Warrior's not, like, another Keeper so we could just pitch it, but...
Yeah. Even then, he's probably good to keep into the next turn. Oh, he just buys it. Okay. A little bit of an aggressive start, I think.
I have to go first, so I make the big brain play of passing first.
Yep. Putting yourself down on Fate like this against Scorpion isn't something I'm a huge fan of, but it's not like it's the worst move.
Yeah, I don't like the Vanguard Warrior that much, because it's not going to...
It's also just such a high-value card to keep around, because sometimes you just keep him there until you need to use a cheat code.
Vanguard Warrior can say gain 5 money.
Yeah, which is
and
incredible.
it does not on this board state at all.
I mean, it's not like you're gonna break the province, right? So like,
Yeah, no.
The best case scenario, he gets to come in for a political attack at 1. Worst
Right.
case scenario, he has an extra dude in military. So when you like, you're not like, who's gonna assassinate a Caillou Envoy? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's never gonna happen.
So like, it seems fine. It's aggressive certainly, but I think it's kind of a waste here.
Yeah.
That being said, like, I think it's very tempting to play things when you aren't going to get the fate anyway, and it would kind of get your board going. Because like, if it were literally any other card than Caillou Envoy, it'd be fine. But in this case, like, you're not gonna fate Caillou Envoy. It's just gonna die. So like, it would have made more sense to me to maybe throw a fate on him and see if he sticks around. Maybe to pull out an assassination. I don't know.
I mean, as strange as it sounds, I think maybe you do fate the Caillou Envoy. Like,
yeah, I'd fate the Vanguard one.
Well, if you're fading it at all, yeah. Well, but I'm saying with the Vanguard Warrior, you probably fate the Caillou Envoy because you're not losing the Caillou Envoy effect.
Sure.
You're just delaying it. You just keep the body on the board for a turn. It's not the best, but I mean, it's value where there would be none. Yep. Sure. The double defense is very...
Yeah, I find Meditations under this Grotto District, and I'm super happy because this is a 5-strength province that does nothing.
Yeah.
So I'm going to smash my face into it for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. I don't know what I do about that. Like, maybe Bonsai your guy. Hoping
if that was basically any other province, that would have been pretty nice too. I mean, we're looking at Defend the Wall. We're looking at...
He double blocks, so I favorable ground out.
Mm-hmm. I'm not sure what he thought you were threatening there, but I understand wanting to keep the Karada around. Because again, it really hurts your ability to just...
Yeah, I mean, I guess the only thing he's worried about is a Bonsai.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even a Bonsai, you just single block and then Stronghold, and you're done.
For sure.
You don't need to double block there. I would have probably... I mean, maybe even just keep... I mean, he knows he has the Skirmisher in hand, right? So probably leave the Vanguard back and block with the Envoy. That way you can attack with Skirmisher, and then you can come in with the Vanguard Warrior for political if you need to.
Yeah.
So at least scout 2 provinces, maybe break something, but...
He runs head first in a pilgrimage,
yeah, that's really rough. And it was on the Earth Ring too.
And now here comes the chase.
He forces you to do something. Like,
yeah, for sure.
I'd be okay getting that.
But he goes straight to 5, and I just put him to 4.
Yeah, if he continues to chase this, I'm not big on it. But eating away the Scorpion for a Bonsai isn't the worst thing, although it does hurt his honor quite a bit.
He makes me trade 1 for 1, and he gets the shit. So I think it's, like, all things considered, not bad.
Yeah, no, now he just keeps the favor from you for free, which is pretty nice. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I will say certainly favor's nice, but this isn't one of the matchups where it's a huge deal if one player has the favor or another. I mean, all that it really does is turn on your center.
Yeah, I want it, but I'm not.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of things to center anyway.
The thing with Crab is you just hold your cancels for Mountain does not fall anyways. I mean, it's really as simple as that for the most part. There's obviously edge cases. There's certainly worlds where you cancel rebuilds, but
definitely cancel on rebuilds. But
cancel away the Crab on your Kachiko.
Yeah, that's cancel away the Crab on Kachiko, and then the Crab player has to scoop. I think that's written in the rules somewhere.
Oh, okay, you were just keeping favor neutral. I see. For some reason,
I'm winning.
Oh, I'm seeing his name larger. I'm seeing his name as larger, and I didn't notice that you had claimed the fire ring. For some reason, I thought he had 3 rings. It's a good thing that card costs 1, huh?
Fading this Ancient Master because I'm trying to keep around a 1-drop every turn for the rest of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the best way to play around Way of the Crab. It eats up a lot of your resources though, which is like part of the strength of Way of the Crab that people don't realize. It's kind of hidden strength. You force your opponent to play around it. You warp the way in which they're allowed to play the game, and you eat away at their resources because they feasibly should be spending 1 extra money a turn just to avoid being Watsied.
Yeah.
So let's.
Ian is trying to.
Yeah. Let's pause it right here. So, like with these 2 flips, and you're the Crab player, what do you do against this? Because I have like my line of thought, and I just want to know what your line of thought is on this.
Well, so you have a Witch Hunter out, and you basically have 2 bodies that are irrelevant, and one that you would really want to get into the discard pile. So, my primary, I would probably try and get Witch Hunter out and sack the Keeper Initiate so that I can bring it back with an Earth Ring this round. But like the Guardian's not bad either because it's 1 for a 1/1, and also it's gonna pump someone.
Yeah, my thought was Witch Hunter with 3 and then Heated Guardian.
Yeah, I like Witch Hunter with 3. I think another thing that's really important in this matchup certainly is going to be heavily fating your characters because Fate Worse Than Death. Like the only way to play around Fate Worse Than Death is the 3 Fate.
We've
Like,
talked about it
or even
before,
4 Fate.
and if you're playing some against Scorpion and you want to invest in a guy, you know it has to be don't play him, or it has to be like 3 or more, because 2 is blowouts, 1 is easy blowouts.
1 is just asking for it.
Yeah. I mean, even if they don't somehow fate you, I mean, they're gonna sneak in a Void Ring. Like, why would you not?
I mean, they could either sneak in a Void Ring, they could Fate Worse Than Death. You've got Phoenix Splash that can just steal a Void Ring if you try to poke for it. There's all sorts of things that can go wrong there with 1 Fate.
I also like Witch Hunter on 3.
Yeah, I like Witch Hunter.
I would
with
Witch
3 or
Hunter on
4
3.
here. See what you do, and then maybe the Guardian.
I wouldn't be opposed to 4 either.
Yeah, I like 4, definitely 4. I might even Guardian with 1, but that's probably where I'd stop.
Yeah, like I also think it depends on your action here, right? Because if you're gonna get the passing fate, then it matters. But if you're not, like if there's a chance for him to take the passing fate,
if he Witch Hunters, he invests in it, he gets to pass passing fate. Because I have to play a courtier.
Yeah, and with Witch Hunter on board. Okay.
That's why I want to stop it and actually talk about like what our line of thought is, so that we can then see what actually happens and then kind of go into that.
So with Satoshi, I wonder what he's trying to search for. That's my question, because he already has Karada District out. So.
Yeah, exactly. You already have Karada. Like with Satoshi, you're gonna get maybe the Mia Mystic or another copy of Satoshi.
Eric is also rubbing his hands together like fucking Birdman with any way of the Scorpions in his hand, like.
Oh right, yeah. He's not on Storehouse at all, so like he can't flip another holding with it. Oh, I guess he could get Palace, right? So is the line of thought here like pull out Heat of Guardian and then hope that you flip Palace? Because that would be pretty good. Because +4/+4 I think is better than +2/+2.
And I mean, if you mill another keeper or 2, it's pretty good scenario. But still,
yeah. But also, if you lose both of your Casadas here, like you're, I don't know. Satoshi's so scary in Crab.
Like, I understand the line. I don't agree with it.
I forget what I was asking here too.
I think you were asking about an interaction with Miyako. I feel like I remember this day.
I had a rules question. I think it was something to do with Karada District.
Yeah, because it was fair with hitting.
But
like, so some of the weird stuff with Karada District is usually revolving around unique attachments or.
Very frustrating too.
Yeah. Because Jojen's Curse isn't unique, right? It just is once per turn.
I believe so.
Correct.
Jojen's Curse is not unique.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know what. But you were playing. You're on Dragon anyway.
Yeah.
There's an ancestral, an ancient master in play. Yeah. I don't know what sort of question you'd have about.
I don't remember. It's
Karada District. I mean, sometimes people have questions. Cloud, Karada District. Can I take your Cloud?
I think that is actually it. Yeah.
No,
yeah, but the answer is no if you read Karada District. Yeah,
right.
It has to be on.
Yes, that exactly what it was. What it was. It was Cloud. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that.
For a ruling, all you have to do is read the words.
Yeah, that's an RTFC.
So I think
that was one of the things we wanted to talk about today.
Yeah.
Read the fucking cards.
Yeah, read your fucking cards.
It's not a bad idea.
So I think Satoshi here is an investment play. Like, he might be looking to get more keepers into discard, and then go from there. Whereas the Witch Hunter is potentially explosive on
this
turn.
If he takes any other actions this Dynasty phase, he's giving up 1 fate.
Yeah.
So it's strange to me, though, that it's 2 fate on the Satoshi. I probably would have played him with 3 or 4 if that's where I would go. But I think that investing heavily in characters is something that as Crab players we're just inherently afraid of, because we have Way of the Crab. So if we can kill characters, surely everyone else can, right?
It's like a fear in our heart of hearts.
Yeah, like we know that it's possible, but it's not.
Yeah, and he's giving up on the passing fate by playing the Heathen Guardian with nothing on it, which means at this point you're just never mind.
Yeah.
So
giving it back. That would make more sense to me if there were storehouses in the deck, but there aren't. So I feel like he's trying to dig for Imperial Palace because he wants to get because like best Magical Christmas Land here is he gets flips Imperial Palace on Pilgrimage and then you're done. Or is he not playing? He's playing Shameful. Imperial Palace on Shameful, and then
just to one thing, if your Scorpion opponent plays a Shugenja for no reason that you can really see, like this Shadow Shaper, it's because he has a cloud in his hand.
Yep. And that Satoshi's about to get clouded as fuck.
And, yeah. So
is he auto passing draw phase?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So that's
Quick pause,
probably
let's-
just he doesn't have that.
Yeah,
turned on.
let's have a quick aside about that, just in general, for anybody who is either, who is new to Jigoku or whatever the case may be. Draw phase actions, especially for certain clans, are super critical. I think Crab, almost of all of their clans, is probably the most critical, although it's still important for everybody. What you should do is head into Jigoku settings and make sure you have your draw phase action window selected by default.
Every action window.
Every action window, yeah.
Every single one. For I think it's also very important against people playing against the very like controlling clan. So playing against Scorpion or Crane, there are going to be times where like as Crane you want to wave the Crane at the very first action in the draw phase, before anybody can do anything to turn on your voice.
Right.
And then there's also circumstances like in this one where we're about to probably see a Cloud the Mind happen and get a Satoshi before he can access it. So if he didn't auto pass, he's first player, right? So
or if you need to Mia Mystic before your opponent handles your Mia Mystic.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, the number one thing as Crab, you time walk people as Crab when you wave the Crab them in draw phase. There's plenty of times where you just skip a turn because you go up a couple fate and it's like, all right, let's go to cleanup now. Like you should absolutely be having draw phase windows on, or all windows.
And also, I just literally rechecked the Crab player's deck list. He's not even running Mia Mystic, so it is literally just Satoshi, Imperial Palace, and Karada. So
yeah, Mia Mystic is it's cuttable for Crab, although it's like it's just hard to find room for. Really, it's not so much cuttable as it's very difficult to find room.
Well, I mean, it is difficult to find room, but one, it does assist with the Cloud the Mines, and two, Karada District doesn't hit your clouds, right?
Yeah.
Or your opponent's clouds.
And Satoshi,
Karada District can only hit your opponents.
You generally want like 5 targets for Satoshi. So
he's what is he on right now? Is he on
3
just
Satoshi, 1
Satoshi,
1 Palace?
He's got 5. Yeah, he's got 5 targets. He's got 3 Satoshi.
Mm-hmm. That's like the bare minimum you want.
Yeah.
Because he's Crab players are no strangers to milling 20 cards, and he's going to be milling 20 cards a whole lot with that sort of.
Well, I mean, I used to do the exact same thing in Phoenix because, like, in the Phoenix matchup, I played 3 Satoshi, Kanjo, and just the Imperial Palace. So it was literally just to dig for Kanjo.
Yeah.
So like I can understand it, but you already have the Karada District, so that's why like the line of play just still doesn't make sense.
So it looks like both players passed in draw. So I wonder now, are we going to see Satoshi activate immediately in conflict? But it doesn't look so because he played Spyglass.
Yeah, it's 9-9 in honor.
So this is one of those things where it's very minor, but I feel he should have Satoshi'd first because playing that Spyglass does nothing immediately, and it gives you even a tiny bit of information. He could Satoshi, get what he gets off it, and then see your action. And while it doesn't necessarily change the line of play, there are worlds where I just don't play Spyglasses because I see, like, I scout what my opponent's action is. It's important.
And I
to keep
cannot
that
calling
stuff
in favors the Spyglass because Karada.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot to be said for waiting and seeing what your opponent will do.
Especially
I think
as
that,
Crab.
yeah, especially as Crab, like you have bad cards, so like you need to know what's up.
Yep.
Yeah. And is that where? Yeah, okay.
Oh,
so he didn't Satoshi before the first conflict,
This is
and then
brutal.
walked into shameful display.
This
So
is
now
skill.
pointless.
Your skill.
You really outplayed him there. That was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed your fate for friggin' Keeper. I'm Seeker Fate.
On the bright side, you can't get any more Secret Fate.
Jeez,
I mean, he's
Eric,
only
how
got
come
10 he's
your
only got
dad
10
lets
on
you
turn
have
2.
2 Seeker Void provinces? Yeah, hitting Shameful here is actually worst case scenario, although Seeker Cash is not good either. Okay,
Although
there's the
I
Watch Commander.
am going to say this, I'm going to be much more scared of Scorpion if they get Secret Bear.
I'm not.
That's what we had originally.
I'm gonna be so happy if they get Seeker of Air and not like I'm gonna be fucking counting my lucky stars.
I want them to be able to run the auto dishonor thing and have them have 12 ways to dishonor people as a Phoenix player.
No, I'll accept
What are you
it.
talking about?
I got a nice
Oh,
hefty
Mark of
average
Shame.
of 1.
Mark of Shame, yeah.
I
mean,
was just thinking about provinces.
Yeah, I would like Seeker Bear would be great. I think Fire would be pretty solid too, because then you could run Abandoning Honor and
Feast of Fairness.
You cannot run Abandoning Honor.
What is Abandoning Honor not the fire?
It
province?
is fire, but
It
you
gets
don't have
plus
the room
2
for it too.
strength.
Yeah.
Oh no, never mind. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's not what that does. Forget I said anything. That's
I almost
dumb.
wonder if that was a balancing
Don't do that.
decision. Like, it seems like they did it on accident, but I think they did it on purpose because those provinces would all be immensely better in Seeker roles if it weren't for that text, and I think that might have been a rare case of the design team actually not being silly. Because upholding in Seeker Earth would actually make Seeker Earth, like, still terrible, but, like, less terrible for Krav.
I feel like that might have been a fourth, like an afterthought. I don't think that was intentional to make it balanced for Seeker roles.
It's hard to
maybe.
say with them because they don't really think often. Anyways, oh, what happened there?
Hello?
Dad? It's
Hello?
not me.
I
It's
think
just a
it's
video.
Tyler.
Okay, I got scared, dude. I got really scared. So
Oh, it
conflict
must have like
goes
went
by
into
us
sleep
that
mode or
much.
something.
Yeah.
I first shamed his Satoshi.
And then casually
He
Kodo'd
watch
him.
commandered it.
And then he just Nezumi to win the ring.
Yeah.
Mm.
He actually plays the watch commander, which lets me for shame to go down one, so I
And
can
then Kodo,
city
yeah.
command him.
Yeah, watch command. It's strange how watch commander early can be a liability and watch commander late can be a liability in this matchup. It's not a bad card by any means, and there are certainly it's certainly strong.
Oh, it's an amazing card.
It's an amazing card, and it's certainly still strong in the matchup. But you have to be very, very extremely careful of how you play it against Scorpion. There are
And I
times in
don't
which
really
you
think
feed
he
them
thought
blocks.
through. I was just gonna say I don't really think he thought through his void ring. He strips the void. He strips my Shadow Shaper of Fate, which just lets me go to meditations, so I don't have to flip something.
I think he was going void to prevent you from getting
Yeah,
it.
I mean it's definitely important to
If you void and then
to
fate worse than death, Satoshi's dead.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a tower.
for sure, but it does let me attack meditations again for.
It does. I still think it was the right play, just because getting a dude off your board is probably more important than letting
Sure.
you get a free swing in.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, like you could always go somewhere else, and if he gets the dude off your board, then you can't like walk around away the crab.
Yep.
And the other thing that I think is super important as a crab player is knowing when to set up your turn to be able to wave the crab them after the fate phase. I think
Yeah.
that's like a super underutilized skill, and being able to like understand when the action window happens after the fate phase to be able to like pay one more fate for that one drop that no one cares about and nobody sees coming, and then wave the crab them hard when they drop a really like expensive conflict character.
Whenever they play a skirmisher or an infiltrator with a fate on it, you should be thinking about that.
Yeah, the Nezumi is a really great target for that, because there's times in which you simply use him towards the end of the turn as a 2-fate Way of the Crab, and that's totally okay. It's a great play regardless, because Way of the Crab is such a powerful swinging tool. Nezumi Infiltrator as a 1-of is definitely something I like. I wish I could fit more because I love my rats, but it's tough to fit more than one of him in a deck.
Yeah, they're a really cool card.
Yeah. Definitely strong, too. I think stronger than people give it credit for, although it's just the rest of our conflict deck is really good. It's very competitive.
I do another
He's with
poke
it.
and he throws a bunch of guys in front of it, and I'm happy just to bow his team.
Yeah, I'm wondering how much tempo he's giving up just being afraid to lose conflicts here.
Because I'm perfectly happy just getting through this turn while he has 5 guys on the board.
You've also got... I
Yeah.
can't see his
I don't
hand
know why
size, but
he's
you've got a
so high.
massive advantage in economy right now. I mean, it's kind of oppressive. Like,
Yeah, I don't get swinging fire here. I'd swing air just to take the fate off the air ring. Because you're going in.
I think he just wants to clear his Satoshi.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I think swinging air here would also be a pretty solid move because you're losing 2 fate at the end, 2
Yep.
2 honor at the end of the turn. So like swinging air to get 2 honor, you're already strongholded. That wouldn't even bring you up past
Well,
it
he's
anyway.
only losing,
So
he's
like,
only losing 1 because
yeah, his initiate's no longer.
Yeah.
But still, like, now
Well, no,
you
no,
get 2
no,
fate.
oh yeah, Satoshi's not going, but I mean, fire. I understand what he's trying to do here. I think it's obviously like fire. I don't want Satoshi dishonored anymore, but like, you already mitigate the political skill with the 2 attachments that are on him. So like, do you really need him honored again? But
He's investing quite a lot
How
into
is
this
he
conflict.
so high with the skirmisher?
He bonsai'd it.
Oh, okay. I missed the bonsai.
Yep, he bonsai'd it. Cunning Magistrate hits board, Wayfinder, and then Cloud.
And then Katana on that.
He's investing a lot into this. I think this is going to bite him in the ass really hard.
Yeah. And again, so he just dropped a Cunning Magistrate with 2, right? So this would be another super awesome opportunity to be able to drop an Uchi Wayfinder with 1, or not an Uchi Wayfinder, but to drop a crab character with 1, or if he had played the Nezumi Infiltrator with an extra Fate, if he has Way of the Crab in hand, like you're gonna be hard pressed to not do anything because all your courtiers will be gone at that point, so you can't. Like your only option is center, and he's on 2 rings with potentially a glory left.
Yep. And we know that the favor is calculated for the fate phase, so I would lose the favor.
Exactly.
You would feel exceptionally miserable.
Yep.
And there's nothing you can do. You lose the favor, you can't center. You lose the courtier, you can't forged edict, and then you get Way of the Crab to lose your Cunning Magistrate. That'd be a fantastic play, which would give him a lot of tempo.
So
the reason I commit here to the bonsai as well is because if I let him win this, he gets to bring Satoshi back in. But this Cunning Magistrate is going to blank Satoshi for the rest of the game if I keep him dishonored. So I want to win this fire ring.
Yeah.
So 2 things to speak on there. Not fading the Nezumi Infiltrator there earlier on. It could also just be indicative of like just telegraphing that he doesn't have Way of the Crab. It may not necessarily be a misplay, or if he does have Way of the Crab, whether or not, but he could just be saying there, I don't have this card, so I'm not going to bother.
But even if you don't have it now, I mean, you could draw it next draw phase, right?
Yeah.
You could draw it next draw phase, but, I mean, you're also aware as a player that you need to play around Way of the Crab always. So you have a Dynasty phase before then.
Yeah, of course.
That said, an important thing for all Crab players to know, and players in general, Way of the Crab is not just for blowouts. Way of the Crab is something you use for any incremental value it can give you now. Because it's become so exceptionally easy for everybody to play around it that your best bet is to just
for a second while you talk?
Yes. Your best bet with Way of the Crab is just to take any incremental advantage it'll give you. And I mean, like, trade a 1-drop for a better 1-drop if that's what it takes. I would trade Caillou Envoy with Way of the Crab for a Doom Shugenja any day of the week. Just take what you can get from it, because it's very easy to play around now. It's important and it's good, but you have to take your value where you can find it.
So interestingly enough, he didn't use Satoshi at all that turn either.
Well, he still has action windows, but the reason why I'm extremely not scared of Way of the Crab is because we can see right here, the regroup phase just fired, and he immediately passed. So I know his action windows aren't turned on.
Yep.
That too, and again, this is...
So I'm, like, literally never scared of these regroup phase, fate phase, Way of the Crabs, because I know he is auto-passing through them.
Those are, like, your most powerful Way of the Crabs for anybody watching this, remember. Like, regroup...
Tyler, when you watch this video, turn on your fucking action window.
Yeah, please turn on your action window.
I mean, I don't think it would be a hard or a bad estimate to say that probably 50% or more of my Way of the Crabs are in, like, the weird phases that everyone just passed through.
Yeah. I'd say significantly more than 50%, because you just generally can't get them off otherwise.
Yeah.
I mean, the only time you really get them off outside of the weird phases are when people expect them, or like when they're behind and you're just gonna kill them, like at that point.
Or it's like I was saying, sometimes you just take the value. It's like, okay, you got another 1-drop.
You can play again.
Yeah, I mean, or like they even if they overcommit a little bit, like they 2 fate a 1-drop, or like they're only 1-drop, they 1 fate, and then they have like a couple good guys, like, or a particularly impactful 1-drop.
Look at that fucking Scorpion flop. I could literally jerk off to that.
Yowzer.
Yeah, that's gross.
Okay, so we're going with the Witch Hunter plan.
We're going with the Witch Hunter.
But the problem is, now that we're Witch Huntering with no fate, there's also no more characters to sacrifice to it.
He's also second. So that's just water ringed. And then he has to sacrifice something to it. The Vanguard Warrior is not a good sacrifice. This is rough.
Yeah, that's the worst. Flipping Witch Hunter and Vanguard Warrior, because like it's just so much Scornergy. That's like a weird War Machine term, but
yeah, I actually get that reference.
Solid.
Nonbo, as the children would say.
Yeah. That's
pretty much, yeah.
That's the more card game. E1.
There you go. That's words. Wow, Eric, your board's looking mighty fine right now, and you have 7 fate.
Yeah, it's like one of those weird Scorpion games where I actually have a board state because it's against Crab and I have to because I have to keep rolling 1-drops.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, nothing.
That's
to
why
complain
this Court
about.
Novice is fated.
I'm surprised you didn't 7 fate that core novice.
Oh man.
This
is a friendly Discord league, dude. Leave that boy alone.
All right.
If I ever want to like put on the weighted training suit like Piccolo did, I guess I could like 7 fate a Court Novice.
This is that you do that for the ultimate disrespect in a paper tourney.
Yeah,
Sure.
that'd be a power play, dude. I kind of hope one day I can do that to somebody. Ooh my god.
Yeah, as soon as he blocks, I snap Cloud.
I mean, I don't even know if the cloud's relevant here. I mean, yeah, it's good, but like he's gonna have to lose a lot to do it. I feel like I would much rather cloud the Vanguard Warrior than the Witch Hunter here, because the Vanguard Warrior is actually going to be impactful.
I mean, this entire board.
Make sure you keep that idea in your head.
Okay, we'll do.
So, it makes me
Feel
wonder
that
if like
Vanguard Warrior is going to get assassinated now, but
I think that Karada District is overstaying its welcome. Although it isn't the worst thing in the world to have. Like that Watch Commander is not gonna do anything for him in this matchup. He's not able to win by dishonoring you.
Karada District is basically keeping Eric from playing Calling in Favors. That's
I
really
do have 2 Calling in Favors in my hand.
yeah.
But
I mean,
sometimes you just
making
need to be
two
able
of
to
his
flop
cards in
more
hand
dudes. Because his flop was
Yep.
actually ungodly, unplayable, miserable this turn because that Karada District existed.
Well,
It was
also-
so,
he should have pitched the Witch Hunter last turn as well.
and it wouldn't have been so bad if he hadn't played the turn before so strangely, because putting 6 money into Satoshi, and then also putting 2 attachments on him brings him to 8 plus 2 1-drop characters brings him to 10 money. Like he had a bunch of money.
Yeah.
Just chased a lot of conflict.
Ooh, hitting Secret Cache here is very painful.
There's nothing good to hit.
Yeah.
I mean,
I thought about that as I said that. I was like, you could just never poke into Scorpion and feel good about it. Get fucked.
So as soon as he attacks with this Vanguard Warrior,
You
I
snap Cloud again.
all right.
Nothing
Well.
is coming up Tyler right now, dude.
Yeah, that's I don't know what I'd do about that.
Oh, not like this.
Oh,
I thought Brandon just like got up and walked away, dude. Jesus fucking
yeah.
Christ, dude.
I got
Nobody
nothing.
wakes up in the morning and asks for this, dude. That's so
What's-
fucked up.
What's the concede command? Is that a thing?
Oh,
Can
that's so
backslash concede.
fucking brutal, dude.
Yeah, that's really rough. Like, I mean, he's not going to lose this turn. He's on 4 honor, so he's probably going down to 2 or 1.
Let's
Like,
see what he hit. He hits Cooney Labs.
Oh, I guess
he hit
actually
some good
we're already-
rebuild targets. 2 Casadas.
we're already
got
2
hit.
conflicts in, but
Hitting Borderlands Defender after 2 clouds are out sucks. Wow, some really very mixed bag of hits there. Very mixed bag.
yeah.
Losing both Casadas after clouds are out, but he hits good rebuild targets. He's got Iron Mines in there. He's got favorables.
And Cooney Lab, but
Okay,
I
there's a
think it's
Cooney
probably-
Lab.
Oh, and he
but
rebuilds into Cooney Lab.
Kills you at this point.
Well, it
Well,
only
if
happens at the beginning of the
Yeah, it's
conflict.
beginning of
Yeah,
conflict.
but I mean, you
Yeah.
rebuild.
Can't keep it around.
Yeah, I mean, if he keeps it, he loses. I feel. I don't think that's.
He plays this Talisman of the Sun onto the blanked Satoshi.
That's a bad feeling. So, what we're seeing here is something that
I
is...
think that was him misplaying.
Yeah, but what we're seeing here is something we talked about in Lion video recently, and something we talk about in general, especially versus Scorpion. You don't want to chase too many things versus them.
Yeah.
If you're trying to grind them out, which Crab does to everybody, because that's what Crab does, you need to take incremental advantage when you can, the same way they do. If they play 1 card and you play 1 card, you probably should just count it as a victory and let that shit go. Like, you don't have to win conflicts. You shouldn't be afraid to lose conflicts.
Yeah, and I mean,
Because then you
in
chase
some
and
cases
go
even.
down.
Yeah, and in some cases even like if it's going to be a dead province for the entire game, like, really encourage them to break it. They're their guys. Like that's a thing you can do.
Chat has informed me the command to GG is Alt F5.
Alt F5.
I think it's Alt
Fantastic.
F4, family.
I thought it was Alt F4 as well.
Yeah.
But...
I think F5 is the reload.
That's reload, yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
my gosh.
hopefully you can reload to a point in the game where your opponent just hasn't double clouded minded you.
Yeah.
I realized I asked earlier what the link was, and I totally forgot to look at the chat the entire time, and now I'm like getting
That's
self-conscious
fantastic.
because people are listening to me say things, and I'm
It's
like
okay,
super bad
dude.
at this
You
game,
got a nice
but-
voice.
Just ignore him. It's just Ray screaming into the void.
Do I know who Ray is?
Ray.
Have I
It's
met
Yeah.
Ray?
Ray's
yeah,
the
you have.
red-haired man.
It's the redheaded Phoenix player who is married to Lauren, Corn player.
Okay.
And
I
it's Ian.
I know Lauren.
They were at turn 4 when you were there.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
For the old, we
I
did it
don't-
better
I'm not
than
sure if we
LA,
played.
Kotai.
Fantastic. Who's Mech Mage?
That is Ian Fight.
Is that
Hello, Ian.
Scorpion Ian?
Yep.
Yes, Scorpion Ian.
Okay, and then V Power KT.
That's me.
That's Mike.
That's Mike. Yeah.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, fantastic.
All right. So the flop here is he's keeping Karada and he flops another Witch Hunter. He's
Oh,
he's
what
actually
happened to
he's
his-
getting pretty unlucky. It's off center now because you
happened-
could see
yeah,
it's not full screen. At the top you could see his browser.
Okay, so we can-
email Google search. I like that.
Okay, well, we can see he flipped another Witch Hunter. His flop was fucking 3 4-drops and this Karada district he sat on all game.
Oh, he kept
Yeah.
Karada District again.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh man.
That's
I mean,
Satoshi's blank. Like you just don't worry
It's-
about your attachments.
I just don't know. So like the big problem is that like it's now he has 3 slots, right? And that's I think one of the traps is just to keep
It's like
your
old
cool.
5R. You just have less
Yeah.
resources now.
Yeah, effectively, right? Like one of his provinces was broken.
Yep.
It's too bad that it wasn't, and Eric can just run into it without caring at all.
There's
yeah,
also
I attack this every single attack step except one time.
So I will say this though, Eric has made one crucial play mistake this entire game. He has now flopped his Hidden Moon Dojo.
For sure.
Yeah. Your Dark Sword of Bitter Lies is really not sharp.
So I think
Good lord.
the Kudaka here is okay. I like Kudaka. I just don't.
I
Like
mean-
I'm sorry. No, this
It-
is still the 2 Witch Hunters on the board. That's the only
Yeah.
option.
The thing is,
And-
he's still
and-
drowning. And it's not like
Yeah.
Well, he needs to resolve an air ring to not die, so the Kadaka's actually not that awful.
is he at
But, I
3
mean,
honor?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the question is, how does he do that though? Like, does he go? I mean, he could go all in, but then I think he loses anyway, right?
Yeah.
Because
He has to pull-
Satoshi.
Pull with Kadaka and
He's in a bad
hope my
spot
11
here.
card hand doesn't have a dishonor effect.
There's
Where did shouldn't the Satoshi have one? Oh no. Okay,
No.
so he had the Satoshi that he flipped.
Then
and he
he-
discarded
yeah.
that at the end of the
Yes.
round
Yes.
instead of fading Satoshi. That's interesting. I think it's like he's in dig mode, right? So he has to dig things, but I think that was a little far-sighted. I definitely would have pitched the Witch Hunter.
absolutely the Witch Hunter doesn't
for it.
like. There's not a world where you get that to do good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't have guys on the board, you probably pitch Witch Hunter. I just don't like keeping it around. Doesn't do anything.
And I'm
So-
attacking
Use its effect.
here with the fire ring because if I can land this fire ring on Kadaka,
Yeah.
which can't. His whole board has 0 skill.
Oh yeah, this is the last round where they're cutting out his streets out.
Keeping
Yes.
that Karada for so long, there's a lot of factors playing into it. Not that it was like even disregarding whether or not it's right or wrong. It goes back to what I was saying about how, while Watch Commander is still a powerful card, even in the matchup, it is so double edged that it's incredible. Like right now, if he ditches that Karada district, you immediately steal that Watch Commander and he loses the game outright. There's nothing he can do. Like
Yeah,
you almost
but
have to consider
mean-
not even playing Watch Commander a lot of the time in this matchup because it's hurting you so bad.
This is actually, I think, one of the few mistakes I made. I attack not thinking about how he has Talisman.
Oh, and then he gets the Satoshi on Dishonored. That's not bad. I think though that the Watch Commander thing, like it's definitely useful in some cases, but I think the big issue with it against Scorpion is that like you want to hit them when they're lower, and the fact that they're lower means
Yeah.
that they're not lower because it's Scorpion is rough to deal with. I just don't know what you
Like-
do about that.
Like
I think
early
not-
game, it's not helping add to pressure because it's actually pressuring yourself. And late game, you're being pressured, and they're gonna steal it and then kill you with it. Like,
Yeah.
it's good if you're already ahead. That's the problem with the card in the matchup. you have to be deeply ahead and threatening a Dishonor victory against a Scorpion player, or it's just a 1-money 1/1 buff, and that's not good. And it's unfortunate because the card is amazing, but
to be threatening that with Watch Commander, the Scorpion player has to be like 3 or lower.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right?
Like they have to be 3 or lower, and they have to have just like somehow fed you honor and being dishonored through Kodo. Like, if you can't get multiple Watch Commanders rolling against them and they're already low, then it's like such a liability right now.
Yeah.
He does have all 3 spyglasses.
I think also on the decision to pitch Satoshi, that might be broadcasting that he has a reprieve in hand.
Yeah.
Which also could theoretically be
the
keeping the Karada District, or rebuild for the Iron Mines, but rebuild less so, right? Because he can just cancel it. But
yeah, it's still just something to keep in mind. Although we haven't seen reprieve.
Well, that's true. We haven't seen one, so there's.
Yeah, I mean, rebuild's not a likely thing to resolve.
Yeah, but if they have a Dishonored character on board, which we didn't know that the Shameful Display was going to happen this turn.
Mm-hmm.
If he had a Dishonored character on board and he's about to rebuild an Iron Mine or lose, I would cancel it.
So
for sure.
Here? So he's swinging political. I don't like swinging political. I'd almost swing military.
I'm attacking right now.
Oh, you're attacking? Okay. Never mind.
He passes conflict.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Yeah, he needs to try to defend. You're going to blank the Kadaka here, and it's going to feel bad.
I'm throwing everything.
Getting the Spyglasses rolling is hugely critical here, though, because he's being pressured so much, and he's so behind in economy that getting the card advantage back is such a nice thing. So nice. However, I do feel this is a part where you Watsy, or Watts.
Oh, yep.
Well, that works,
Good
too.
card. Fair card.
So it's interesting that he's got the pump fake window active, but he doesn't have his regroup and draw phase windows active. And Crab doesn't even threaten to pretend to cancel.
I think
stuff.
that's just the standard Jigoku settings.
Ah, I see.
Plays a reprieve here.
Yeah. Okay. So that's what I was thinking, right? So that's to me seems the only way that I would keep the Karada District.
So, and this is why I throw everything at Karada District this turn. It's to break it because he has to play a reprieve on Satoshi.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't anymore because it's honored.
And now I steal said reprieve.
And at this
he
point
plays
in
another
the game,
reprieve.
And then you steal reprieve again.
Yep.
And then I steal it.
And at this point, you definitely just won the game with that. You're keeping Shigenjas on board. You're keeping the Cunning Magistrate on board. It's not looking so hot. With
Maybe we have the third reprieve
the next turn. I don't think he does.
We don't have the third reprieve.
We don't have the third reprieve.
That's
we're about
very
to see
painful. This card's court games are random. Okay.
So he's got Skirmisher, Fan.
Yeah, I play Meek Informant to trigger Miyako this turn.
Yep. Oh, you dick.
And then bounce it.
Still can't take that favor back. That's so rough. So rough. And again, this is the pain
So
of the
on the bright side,
matchup.
Eric is now down to 0 fate.
Yeah.
Yep, I spent all my money that turn.
The thing is, he's got 2 honor and 2 fate. There's not a world in which you can claw back from this, unfortunately. Like against the Cunning Magistrate on board, it does not happen. It does not happen.
Oh my god, that Satoshi is almost like a kick in the face. That's so rough.
Just build yourself. Just take the honorable death.
Yeah, I probably just
Fall on your sword.
I probably just bid 5 here.
I wouldn't even bid 5. I would Satoshi Mo myself for the class.
I think
Ooh,
Jigoku does that intentionally. You're like,
The Spy Network watching Jigoku games, make sure you flop that.
Yeah, it's definitely a thing.
Bayushi's whispers are everywhere, man.
They are.
Can we talk about that bullshit card?
I don't think it's that great. I think it's good, but it's like
borderline unplayable. But
I think it's like one of the things that you would love to see against like Crane, and then you would hate to see it all.
Save that for the upcoming podcast, episode 1.
Yeah, that shit's fucking 10 money, dude. Fuck that shit. You can keep it.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
why they
if it fucking said Shinobi on it,
yeah,
I'd be like,
it should say Shinobi on it. Like that's.
I mean,
well,
it
so
doesn't
should
make
that
sense.
shitty enforcer guy. Like if he said Shinobi,
Doesn't
I
make
could
sense
see him being
thematically.
almost. Yeah, it doesn't. The whole idea is
You know what
Bayushi's
else I was thinking
whispers
about?
are like the entirety of Rokugan's peasants.
If I was thinking about ignoble enforcer, I think it'd be cool if he was like, because it shows 2 guys in the art. So if it had like one guy as like a courtier guy and one guy as a Bushi, and then he was Bushi courtier, do you think he'd be better?
No.
No.
I don't think that keyword would.
I mean,
save
he's
him from
strictly
being
better.
A shitty card though. He would be better, but it doesn't mean he'd be
Strictly
like playable.
better.
Obviously, like having that keyword is never a negative, so like that. But that's kind of a technicality, right? Like, of course he'd be better by having that keyword. But I still think he'd be pretty like. I don't want to call him unplayable until I see him in action, but I have a strong feeling he's utterly unplayable.
Because Whisperers right now, the only way you can cheat him into play, unlike Fushisho, you can't really cheat him because he's a 3. It's like you can charge him, it's just not good. And like you can't red charge him, so like.
Oh yeah, because he costs 6. That's great.
You could ambush him in, right?
You can ambush him, but it's your whole ambush, and that's 3 into 6.
Yeah,
but if he,
that's rough.
If you could red charge him from the shadows or whatever it's called.
We also have to keep in mind, like, Scorpion, like, some Scorpions don't fucking play Shoju. They're not gonna play Bayushi's Whispers.
I mean, he's also just bad Tadaka. I just don't like the...
Well, hand knowledge is very, very, very good.
Like, hand knowledge
it's like
is
an
good,
inherently broken mechanic.
Yeah, but there's like a 1-cost character that does that, and that guy costs 6.
And he's in the same clan. Like...
Wait, which guy are you talking about?
Meek Informant.
Meek Informant, yeah. I don't know if you guys listened to Hidden City Roller Derby, but they were talking about Bayushi's Whispers on the last episode, and the guy was like, or you could just play Policy Debate.
Yeah. There's like a lot of things you could do instead. As like people see Bayushi's Whispers and they think it's gonna be this horrendous lockdown card, but like, have you looked at Tadaka? That card's fucking busted. Like, Tadaka just exists and your whole hand is go fuck yourself. Oh, come on, Erik. He plays Mountain and you force shame the man? Let him... God, he's just a boy. He's already dead. It's all love, Tyler. I don't mean that in like a shit talky way. This game did not go your way, man. This is
every league game. I have to like at the end of it, I have to be like, sorry for like playing my deck.
Nah, fuck that. Here's the thing. You know me. You know I love to bitch, whine, and moan. But the fact of the fucking matter is, if we're playing in a tournament, and this league is a tournament, make no mistake, you have to accept that some decks are good. Some decks are really good. You have to play around that. Or not play around it, but you know, it is what it is. It's a competitive game. There's always going to be a best deck, so... Whether or not that Scorpion is probably...
This man is running into Secret Cache again.
Oh, I thought you said it's Mantis. It would be Mantis if they were around.
This man is attacking Secret Cache. Thank you so much.
I mean, what does he have left, dude?
There's a face down.
Erik, what does he have left here?
Oh, yeah. I weigh the Scorpion and then assassinate him because he's on 1 honor.
Yeah, there was nothing to be done there. It's unfortunate.
Yep.
So, I think what we saw in that game was a few things. In particular, we saw a lot of overextension that really came back to bite him because he was so down economically.
So okay, that's probably, I think that's fair.
Ian asked a good question as well in chat.
What do you say? I'm sorry, I don't have it open. I should.
What does he think is under Rumor Monger that makes him go into cash? I don't know. I have no idea.
It could have just been the Hail Mary, like whatever. Because I mean, at this point, there's
Spoilers,
no combination of
authority.
Yeah, of course. But there's like no combination of cards that keeps him in this game right now, anyways. Like as Crab, there is not a single card in the game. Like he could reprieve that Kodaka, he could rebuild 5 Iron Mines. It doesn't matter. It's over. It's over.
So I think that we saw a situation where he had some bad flops. Certainly that, you know, keeping the Karada district didn't help because it made his flops worse, right? Certainly there's reason to keep it because he obviously had the reprieves in hand at some point and didn't want to get them stolen.
There also came the point in which he was so scared of losing the Watch Commander because it would have lost him the game that he had to keep the Karada. Like that card you just don't play it a lot of the time.
Which brings us back to the option of don't play Watch Commander against anybody who's splashing Scorpion.
Which hurts, but I mean, it'd be that way.
It does hurt.
Or who is Scorpion? Like, if they're splashing it, it's fine, because you have too many attachments for them to hate away anyways. But if they are Scorpion, it is almost strictly just like a card that hurts you. You play
That's
it
true,
early
yeah,
and you're pressuring yourself. You play it late game and they steal it and you lose. Like, it's a no-win situation unless you're already very far ahead. And getting far ahead of Scorpion means that the Scorpion really messed up in the matchup.
Ian is nitpicking how I killed my opponent in chat.
Hey, Ian, if you go look at the spreadsheet of the results, there's like a W next to his name. That
Yeah, the man is dead.
Um,
But you could have made him lose that last honor differently. You are correct.
you could have. So I think that some things that would have helped out quite a bit in this game specifically, being a little bit more willing to lose provinces. I think we came up with that a few times.
For sure.
Yeah, your province is a
I think
resource. The only one that matters is your last one.
I think that as a crab player, we really need to be willing to sacrifice everything that we can to achieve what we need to do, which is to win, right?
I think that's
some-
every clan, because I think that's one
very
of the
much so.
hardest lessons people like learn is sometimes it's just not worth it.
You just lose. It's okay to lose, and like it's okay to lose conflicts. It's okay to lose provinces. It's okay to lose guys.
I spoke with him about how that meditations with the Karada on it being 5 strength, like I smashed my face into that province. If this was a 5-turn game, I probably attacked it 8 or 9 times. So
yeah,
like
that was unfortunate.
But like you at some point you could just bonsai my guy, and then like rebuild the Karada on Shameful.
Yeah. Or
Yeah,
I mean, you could just discard the
Or
Karada.
yeah,
Like
that
you
too.
don't bonsai their guy when you could discard it. You have that option. It's like part of the game.
I'm just saying, like,
Yeah. I think.
I mean, but meditations, even though like might be worth bonsaiing, because you don't like letting Scorpion farm rings is a great way to lose the game.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And I think that also another thing to probably take away from this is I think that sometimes, especially against Scorpion, if you're going to invest in characters, investing in them with 1 or 2 fate is pointless.
Right.
If you flip a witch hunter and you have nothing to do with it, right? And you have the fate, like drop 4 fate on it, it'll stick around. Even
I
if it
cannot against the waves.
Dude, even if it
it's
gets
still a
clouded, it's a fucking beefy bitch. If you looked at
Yeah.
her, she's got 4 military. That bitch is fucking.
And
fat.
0 glory.
Yeah, it's the
and 0 glory. So she is a 4/2 period. And he's running attachments that will make her better.
It's
Clearly.
fucked up that Cunning Magistrate gives your opponent's cards infinite glory.
It's true.
Just turns it into a sideways 8.
Yeah,
bitch.
this
Go
is
fuck
this is
yourself.
one of those matchups where Cunning Magistrate is just fucking brutal.
See, I really
Yeah.
wish, like, I wouldn't be so angry with Cunning Magistrate if it was while it was attacking, because all the other magistrates are either attacking or defending. Cunning Magistrate is just while I'm there.
Yeah.
It's both.
It
Yeah,
fits
but
with
like
how
Scorpion just gets
plays.
better cards.
Yeah, that
True.
too. There's this
I
card
would be
that's
fine.
came
I would
out
honestly
recently,
be
it's
fine
called
if it
Hidden
said
Moon
while
Dojo.
defending. If it said while defending, I think it would.
It'd still be
balanced.
good.
Yeah, I'd still play 2.
Yep, it would still be good, but it wouldn't be like busting.
I mean, to be fair, Hidden Moon Dojo would still be really ridiculously good if it didn't have the action to flip a province, but it does, or to flip a card.
Sure would.
What Hidden Moon Dojo should say is it should be an action to play the guy from the province, so you can only do it once.
It should just not
What?
be a thing that exists.
It
They
is?
should
Oh.
just stop printing cards that say 1 in any deck. They just stop doing that because they're not doing it good.
But that's a balancing
Yeah,
thing.
Ian has
Yeah,
a
it
good
is.
point. Our other magistrate is also while participating. It's not attacking her.
Yes.
Yojiro.
Yojiro, yep,
That card's gonna
Mhm.
see play.
he exists. Yep.
I mean, just because there's a promo of it doesn't mean it's going to success.
Shut up. Yojiro's
Remember
fucking
Kaito
cool.
Kasori?
It's gonna say,
dude.
it's gonna say
Remember
play in
her?
the new box.
Yojiro is cool.
You know, there's a promo of Sukune, right?
Wait, what?
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's full art, dude. It's just that
Yeah,
she still doesn't see play.
I mean,
She
there
got a promo,
is,
though.
Well,
but
I may or may
It's a
not be
prom-
running Sukune.
There's a promo of that
sorry,
fucking
dude.
the 3-drop crab chick.
Don't ever say that to me again.
Tomonatsu.
Don't ever talk to me.
sorry, who?
It's okay.
Tomo what?
We're getting rebuild, okay? So shut the fuck up. We're finally getting a good
Yeah,
card,
let's-
even though it's the
let's get in-
season in
let's
which
get into another
everybody
game.
gets good cards. Yeah. So,
I
do you
on-
have
I
any
only get
closing
good cards, so-
thoughts on that?
I
I think, in summation, don't be afraid to give up provinces. Don't be afraid
Yep.
to lose battles. Don't be afraid
Load
to
up
take
your
incremental
dudes.
advantage. Load
Yep,
up your
and don't-
dudes.
don't be afraid to fate for future turns, right? So like if you're gonna have a sucky turn, like sometimes you need to do the grab thing and just struggle through. Like you'll make
And
it through if you can just hold shit down, fade a bunch of guys,
hold
and
it
then your
down,
board will.
baby.
Dump that
Also,
Karada district. You have rebuilds.
All I'm saying, and I'm not saying this in a bitchy way for once, but as Crab, you really got to get used to having a bunch of cardboard in your hand that you could just throw in the garbage till the end of the game. Like, that Watch Commander, you could have kept it, or, anybody playing Watch Commander versus Scorpion. You could keep that in your hand and just be like, this is a dead card forever, and that's okay because I'm playing Crab. It be that way.
It's a faction where a significant amount of your power is put into your dynasty.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And what I mean, though, too, is just, like, starting with 10 Honor, you can play one Assassinate, like most clans. You play one, and you probably don't play a second one. Sometimes that's dead. Sometimes your Watch Commanders are dead. Sometimes your Watsies are dead for the entire game. Like, it just happens. It's not the worst thing in the world. Crab clearly has survived with that. It wasn't any different before. It just, remember, sometimes it's okay to have cards that you can't play. It doesn't feel good. It's not, like, a good thing, but sometimes it happens. So don't get an itchy trigger finger. And especially keep in mind the nuance of playing Watch Commander versus Scorpion. And that nuance generally just means don't do it unless you're really threatening to dishonor them.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that, like, just keeping in mind that your dynasty flop is effectively a second hand, right? And you only get to have 4 cards in it. So really just, like, pitching cards that you don't need is totally fine. You're not going to play every card. And sometimes getting rid of the cards, especially the holdings, even though it hurts because you're Crab, like, getting rid of the holdings that don't do anything or that do some things but aren't good, you have to dig. You're not going to be able to draw the good things. And then you flop to Witch Hunter, Steadfast Witch Hunter, and then you just lose.
Yep. Yeah, Crab, it's an art form. Learning when to discard stuff is an art form because your flops can be exceptionally bad and they can also be exceptionally good.